Come on, tell that story. I want to get it on video.
When I was a kid, my granddad run a jot 'em down store. And I was about 12, 13 years old. He said, run out. The old man's name was Duncan Dewar. And he lived in an old one-room brick schoolhouse up Ohio. Up there every 2 miles they had a schoolhouse. And he lived in one of them. And he made brooms. And he sold sacks and stuff for grocery stores. And you'd go by there at night and there wouldn't be a light on and all the machinery running in there building sheds. Somebody said, oh, how's he see what he's doing? He said, he don't. He can't see. They didn't have no lights on, but machinery would be running. He'd be working in there. Anyway, my granddad said, I need some brown paper sacks, big ones for his grocery store. $10 bill, I think it was going to be $8 or something. He said, you give him that and tell him it was a $20 bill. I said, why? You want to beat him out of 10? He said, yeah. I said, see if you can. I said, just give him that $10 bill and tell him it's a 20 to make change and see what he tells you. So I did, and I got out there and I just tried him out. He just took that 10, he just felt like that. And he said, well, by God, you can go home and tell your granddad he ain't gonna get no more, because this ain't a $20 bill, this is a 10. And that always amazed me. And I said that one time, Ronnie been wanting to hear it forever.
I didn't believe it, did I, Slim? Tell David tell him again about that dog. You turned the turn signal on that dog.
I had a coon dog I had about 20 years ago. And Bobby Bradley was with me that night, and it was sleeting and snowing. He wanted to go coon hunting, and we went. So I said, well, I'll just put old Tonka out and put him out and let him run the road, you know. And we drive along behind him like that, and the road forked down there, the dirt road up there about up above Trenton, Georgia, up there on the mountain. Anyway, it forked like that. Bobby said, which way are we going to go? And I said, well, I want to take a right-hand fork. He said, well, what if that dog goes left? I said, he'll know which way I'm going. And he got down there, and when he got up where that road forked like that, he stopped, and he turned around and looked at that truck, that front of that truck, and I just flipped right turn signal on that truck, and just as soon as that flashed on, it flashed about twice, but he just hit the right side of that gun, and Bobby laughed about that. He thought that was funny. And coming back, he said, now what are we going to do down here? And I said, I'll just put him out on the left side. And we come right down there, and I just put him on. He stopped down there again, looked back the other way, and I was going left that time. So he just went that way. And Ronnie laughed about that.
Tell David about that horse that got paid more than you did.
That was my cowboy days down in Florida. I was a kid, I was making 50 cents an hour. And I had no horse. I think his name was Topper, little old Florida grass pony, you know. Well, my feet about hang down to his ankles when I got on him bareback. I was taller than he was, but he was a good little old cow horse. Well, that was the one I carried, and I had an old Ford pickup truck, didn't have no sideboards or nothing on, just old wooden flatbed. That's how I hauled him up and down the road, going to one place, and they'd hire me out. The Condon boys worked for them. When we wasn't busy out there on that ranch, they'd hire me out, catch cows out of swamps and stuff out there, run them out of the swamps. Anyway, old Topper, and they called him Tarper. Old Tarper, me and him would go, and he'd just hop up on the back of the truck like a dog, you know. And I drove down the road one day, and I got down in Haines City, pulled into the truck stop down there. I was sitting in there eating a sandwich or drinking coffee or something. And some woman come in there just having a damn fit. And she wanted to know who owned that horse out there on that back of that truck. No sideboards or no nothing. He's going to jump off and get run over on Highway 27 down there or something else. Probably would nowadays, but back then they didn't. But anyway, I was sitting in there and they told, she jumped on the old guy that owned the place, about whoever that was hauling that horse around like that. Want to know who it was. She come over there to me and she said, "You own that horse?" "No, ma'am." "Well, who does?" "Alton Condon." Said, "Where's he at?" I said, "Probably sitting at home." "Oh, you work for him?" Said, "Yeah." Said, "You haul that horse around?" "Yes, ma'am." Said, "You're not afraid he'll fall off of it? That truck out there, you going down the road?" I said, "Hell, he better not to kill him, probably." She said, "Oh man, she just went nuts, you know. Some old gal from up north, you know, just stopped in there for a sandwich and got into it because I was hauling that horse." But he would, you just, when you got done with him, you just walk him up there at the back of the truck, tell him to get on, he'd just hop up on there. You'd go around the curve, you'd feel him shifting around. When you got there, you just stand up there just like he had good sense and was tied down. He wasn't tied.
Tell him about them paying you.
But what?
About them paying you and the horse made more
But
than
anyway, I got up there one day and I was out there. It was hot. Worked all day out there, 50 cents an hour. And I didn't ever think about how much old Topper got paid. Well, I just thought it went with me. So I was out there and got ready. I caught 8-10 horses for him out there, or cows for him that day out of the swamp. Some of them old Brahma cows live in the swamp and you never see them. You can see them at night, but you never see them daytime. Anyway, I got up there and the old guy said, "Well, what do I owe you?" And I said, "Well, I was out there about 3 hours, I think. I made about $1.50. And he said, "Well, I'll just pay you. That way I won't, instead of waiting to pay out and then he can pay you," said, "I'll just pay you and for the horse." And I said, "The horse gets paid?" He said, "Yeah." I loaded him up and down the road. He couldn't drive, but he probably learned later. But he was just like a dog, like I said. He'd hop him up. I went all the way back down there, and I went in there, and there's Alton sitting up there, fan blowing on him, you know, wasn't doing nothing. And I said, "Hey, do you get paid for that horse?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "What'd you get an hour for him?" He said, $1. I said, "My God, how come I haul him all over the country, my God, and mess with him, and all I get's 50 cents an hour." I said, "How come he's worth more than I am?" He said, "He's smarter than you are."